A teacher can change any student's life. Oprah Winfrey, a teacher and mentor, says she owes all her success to her fourth grade teacher. Oprah is quoted saying, "I know I wouldn't be where I am today without my fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Duncan." Winfrey says that Mrs. Duncan believed in her and made her embrace a love of learning. And one of the defining moments of her life was in Mrs. Duncan's classroom when Winfrey was no longer afraid to be smart. The education program is a very serious field of work. Education is provided in our everyday lives, and we don't always see it. Simply teaching somebody to tie a shoe or some other little task is considered teaching. I feel I am a qualified speaker in this matter because I've done a ton of research on this subject, and I've personally seen a teacher touch my life, and that is why I feel that they need to be treated better. Teachers deserve so much more than what they are given. With the disrespect of teachers in many ways, pay, education, and funding are among the top reasons for the lack of education in our schools. Salaries are super important to all educators. The first issue on this subject is pay. Teachers all over the world are walking out because of pay reasons. Just last month, it was reported that teachers in Chicago, Illinois were going on strike. This strike was not a small school or just a couple teachers, but over half the city went on strike, says the Chicago Times. This left 300,000 students in the city of Chicago without education for a record-setting of 11 days. Chicago is not the only place to see this type of behavior. Other states such as California, Oklahoma, and West Virginia experienced these walkouts. Pay was the reason behind all of this. As reported by Education Weekly, teachers are being paid 18.7% less than other educated workers. That is averaged out to just a little under $350 a week, less than others with the same amount of education. With an important job such as teaching, this is a sad statistic for those wanting to improve or provide education while enjoying their job. The pay is just the start of the problem, with education being another problem. Educating our teachers is a huge deal. Most teachers are rushed through teaching and just thrown into the fire. This causes most to have to go back and get more education while still trying to teach on top of that. The Guardian was stated saying that recent National Education Union survey, 80% of classroom teachers have seriously considered leaving the profession in the last 12 months because of their workload. And a recent online poll by TeacherTab has found that only half of the teachers reckon they'll still be in the job in 10 years. If teachers can get the proper education in the proper time, we will see this number swing back the other way. The stress of the teaching is unbearable enough to have to add. Classes on top of that, and in some situations manage a family as well, is crazy. Teachers find themselves very stressed and often having to leave the field to do unhealthy stress levels. Rushing education is just as important as funding the teachers. Funding is a major problem all over the United States of America for teachers. Funding for teachers can include teaching development, school supplies, and field trips, and just about anything else that can better the quality of education. School supplies are needed in any classroom setting. For example, in a physical development class, you need many things to play certain games and work out in certain ways. In a regular classroom, you need the regular items like staples, paper, and many other key items. All these items are needed for teachers to provide the best possible learning experience to keep these classes fresh and productive, and you must use the proper equipment for the job. Most teachers report in lack of funding. 9 out of 10 teachers say that they do not have the proper funding, says the USA Today. This is causing them to have to buy supplies out of their own pocket with their hard-earned money. Even though teachers are on top of the pay chain, even though teachers are on the bottom of the pay chain, we are causing them to dip out of their own accounts to provide simple items that people need to learn. If funding is provided, the education system will boom with growth and be more respectful when people are deciding on their career path. We sometimes overlook the education field. Educators are an important aspect of the workforce, and they get little or to no respect. They are not given all the respects that are needed to provide a good education. First, we don't pay teachers enough money to want to continue to teach. This also causes teachers to not have the drive to teach for multiple years. Second, we don't allow teachers to get the education that they need in a timely manner. We rush them through it and throw them straight into the fire. Lastly, we don't provide efficient enough funding for the teachers. To give our kids the best experiences in education, our teachers the classroom, if we take a look at how much teachers do for all of us, maybe we will, like Oprah, will see the impact that a single teacher can have on our lives. Thank you.